I went south trying to look for a nice thing to paint. I think I end with something very ugly, but somehow I saw that interesting. So what I what I do when I'm making a plein air painting is usually I tone the canvas down with the mineral spirit or any kind of solvent. Do it with a very thin layer of. Usually I try to use any earth color like burnt amber or burnt sienna. Those colors they warm and they dry very fast, and that's what I'm looking for at that stage. I want tone the canvas so I don't see that white canvas, which is like too shiny and I don't know. It's very bad to paint on a white canvas. At least for me. So once I tone that with the burnt sienna or burnt amber, I wipe the surface with the paper towel, and so it's something like a very thin, film there, and it dries very fast also. And then I start applying the paint to the surface. When I apply paint to the surface, I'm not looking at all for the color or try to match anything. Well, I'm sorry. Before I apply the paint, I jump a step here. Before I apply the paint, what I do is I make, of course, the composition. I try to make a simple, rough but accurate composition. And for that, what I do is I remember what catch my attention in the first place, which in this particular case was the house. So I make a sketch of the house. Probably in this case, I would be better like a little trail or something from the house that could lead the viewer into the house. But I just went for it. I just sketched the house there, and I know it was more like a study, this painting. Once I finish with the composition, I start applying color. When I apply color, the less thing you wanna do. Most of the beginners, including myself, when I start, it's so too much temptation to see the details and those beautiful colors there. For example, the graffiti was so beautiful. The colors, the temptation is so much that when you're a beginner, you tend to start putting right away the details, and that's the last thing you want to do. That's something that you have to fight probably your whole career as a painting. Not go into details. It's something that I think, programmed to just follow details, and then you have to avoid that. So the first thing you have to do is establish the whole range of values in the whole painting. For that, you can know. You have to synthesize the values in major steps. That's what you do. You create those masses of value, and once you step back, the painting should look already, good. Like it should look like similar, or it has to give you already at that point an impression that you got something very similar to the landscape that you're looking at. So once you got the values correct, then I jump to details. When I jump to details, I always try to, keep those values. Every pigment that I put there, I need to be sure that it's in that range of values. And since I got the major one, it's gonna make it a lot easier that brush stroke that I put there. It's gonna be the correct one, because I got already the values area, established. Something that I think is important when you put in details is try to be sure that the brush stroke that you put in there is the appropriate one. At that stage, I start looking for more accuracy in the color. Something very important, that you don't work too much in one area. You start uh, putting the color there, not that much color, and move to the size of the canvas and put color. So when you start like closing out that painting, filling out that canvas with color, the colors themselves are gonna help you to better judge the color that you apply at the canvas. Because if you don't have color reference around, it's so difficult to put the right color there, because that's what happens in nature. You look at something, a wall or a plant, a tree, and you look at it and you try to match that color. When you put it in whatever place you're gonna put it, that color that you saw there, maybe it's gonna look different where you're putting it, because what is around is not what that color in nature have around. And that's what is optical illusion. It's very important to fill out the canvas, in everywhere simultaneously. So all the colors help you to judge in a better way every brush stroke that you put in there. So I want to share with you guys also an experience that I had when I was trying to learn how to paint. And I think I wish I could do it different. And this is the fact that I started painting, thinking that painting was just look at the whatever was in front of you and represent in the most accurate way what you were looking at. But that's not enough in painting. You have to know what you're looking at. I'm talking about that you have to know how things work in nature. And when I'm talking about this, I mean how the perspective works. I'm talking about ambient perspective. And ambient perspective is probably one of the most important things to learn if you are a landscape painter or whatever kind of still life. Ambient perspective isn't everywhere. If you look at the grass behind me, you're gonna see that the grass, the details, the saturation, everything is gonna get like more cold and less saturated and less detailed. So you have to, know that, and you have to study that, because there is a lot more things that you have to know when you painting in perspective. And you're using the ambient perspective, and that's so important. I didn't know about anything of that when I started painting, and I knew what I was painting, but I didn't know what was the science behind the. If you think I'm helping somehow to the beginners painters, and you did like my video, please like the video or subscribe for so you can be updated on new videos that I'm gonna make. And I really appreciate you guys looking at my videos and giving your thoughts about what I'm saying, because I think that's very important to interact with each other and help each other to be better artists. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.